And now let's move on and talk about the mess at Twitter. Elon Musk's mass layoffs are not going according to plan. Last week, he sacked almost 50% of the Twitter workforce. Now some of them are being called back. Yes. Several major news outlets are reporting on this now. Twitter officials are quietly reaching out to some of the former employees. A message from the company's internal Slack group has emerged. Let me tell you what it says. I wanted to pass along that we have the opportunity to ask folks that were left off if they will come back. I need to put together names and rationales. There's more. I'll do some research, but if any of you who have been in contact with folks who might come back and who we think will help us, please nominate tomorrow. I think we might use some Android and iOS help, all these messages on Slack. We don't know how many employees have got these offers. According to one report, there are dozens. So suddenly, Twitter realizes that they need them after all. What happened? What went wrong? Well, there are several explanations. You see, some were laid off by mistake. Others were possibly just victims of a bad layoff strategy. Musk wants several new features to be added, so the management realized its mistake. They ended up sacking the workers that they would in fact need to build the very new features that they've been talking about. So they're asking them to return. Last week, Musk had termed these layoffs as necessary.
To be frank, Twitter was having pretty serious revenue challenges and cost challenges before the acquisition talks started. And any company that is dependent on advertising has had a hard time. Twitter is currently more vulnerable than they are to advertising because most of Twitter's advertising is large brand advertising as opposed to direct response.
Twitter is more vulnerable. Here's why Musk said that. Advertisers are not sure about his plans. Many key stakeholders have met Musk privately since last week. The chief twit, as he likes to call himself now, was not able to convince them. The advertisers have a long list of concerns. Musk couldn't answer these questions. He wasn't able to explain his approach to content moderation, something he's spoken about repeatedly. Musk participated actively in the meetings with advertisers, but according to one official, his plans lack detail. Musk's rant against advertisers is not helping him either. Take a look.
Recently had a lot of difficulty with activist groups pressuring major advertisers to stop spending money on Twitter. This is despite us doing everything possible to appease them and to make it clear that moderation rules and hateful conduct rules have not changed and we're continuing to enforce them. A number of major advertisers have stopped spending on Twitter.
There you go. That was Musk admitting that Twitter is losing advertisers. The list includes some big names: General Motors, Audi, and food company General Mills. They have all paused their ads on Twitter. Advertising agencies are also pulling bookings for their brands. Agencies which represent companies like Sony, Nestle, Subway, and Mazda too are no longer advertising on Twitter. It's a mess, as we said. And naturally, this doesn't help Elon Musk. You see, all his efforts right now are targeted towards improving Twitter's bottom line. The move to sell verification for $8 a month. The layoffs to cut salary bills. They are all supposed to make Twitter financially healthy. But why is Musk displaying such urgency to cut costs? Well, that's because he has bills to pay, big bills to pay in fact. Let's take a look at some numbers. Musk has borrowed about $13 billion from banks to buy Twitter. Just the interest payments for those loans every year is almost $1 billion. Let me repeat that. Elon Musk needs to pay almost $1 billion as interest to banks. This is to service the debt which he took on to buy Twitter in the first place. That is a tall order. Because for most of its existence, Twitter has been a loss-making enterprise. In June, it reported a whopping loss of $270 million and revenues worth just over $1 billion. Those numbers are a problem for Elon Musk. Forget about paying the debt. Twitter won't be able to even stay afloat with his debt. Musk's immediate moves are just tinkering, and they have all backfired. The chief twit is clearly coming up short. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.